Hi folks, welcome to Yale Appliance. I am Chef Saba, and today we're doing a demonstration on how to use a grill on an induction cooktop or an induction range. I have a Le Creuset cast iron grill pan here, as well as a stainless steel griddle pan, which we'll also use just to show the versatility of an induction cooktop and that you can actually use it for more than just searing, sauteing, and boiling. You do need a good griddle pan that is induction compatible. Le Creuset makes various sizes. You can get smaller ones, larger ones, and you can get different shapes as well. This is just a standard sized one. And what I've done is actually I've bridged the two burners here in the middle to be able to use this pan fully and to its full capacity. So what I'm going to do a bunch of things on the grill pan today and also on the griddle. So I will get this preheated and I will start the grilling process. So one thing to remember when you are using induction is that you definitely want to have a little bit of fat or oil in the pan as you preheat it or as you turn it on. You don't want to leave it completely bare because you could potentially scorch or burn the pan because it does heat up so quickly. So just make sure you have a nice coating of some kind of oil or fat or water, whatever you might be using for your cooking. So I just put a little bit of a neutral oil there. My grill pan here is already coated with oil and it is already preheated. And just remember, it does heat up very, very quickly. So I have it at a medium temperature and I'll just crank the heat up to high and you'll see the reaction happen immediately. And for those who are not familiar with induction is a electromagnetic current. There, I'm going to put the steak on and you can hear it sizzle right away. So we know that it's definitely working. It's an electromagnetic current that actually travels through the surface and it is actually attracted to the ferrous metal in the pan. So the pan is what's doing all the cooking. There's no actual heat on the surface of the cooktop. So that's why I can actually put parchment paper down and cook right through the parchment paper because it's not going to directly impact it. It's pretty incredible, especially for cleaning up after. You're able to clean up much quicker than if you would be on a gas cooktop. So that is one huge benefit to cooking with induction. I'm also going to go ahead and throw some veggies on here. And again, just showing the versatility of grilling on induction. So here we have some zucchini, some peppers, and actually I'm just going to scooch the steak up a little bit and get some more room on here. All right, now on our griddle here, I can throw some veggies on here as well. I'll just turn my heat up a little bit. Now, when you bridge the burners, all you need to do is actually use one of the controls here and it'll adjust the temperature on both. So that's pretty awesome. All right, so let's get some veggies on here and I'll throw some asparagus as well. I actually really loved grilled veggies. They're so much depth of flavor. It definitely takes it up to the next level in terms of flavor profile. And it just is more enjoyable all around. The texture, the flavor, I do appreciate it a lot more. So we can do griddled veggies and grilled veggies. We have lots of options here. And I'll also additionally get some hot dogs going on our griddle pan as well. So hot dogs, again, you know, if you were going to throw these on the grill, easily can be done on your grill or griddle pan inside. So we'll just place those gently on here. I can already hear the sizzle, and you can definitely see the veggies are reacting as well. And I'm going to check on my steak at this point now. I think it should be ready to flip. All right, other benefits of using induction, it's a lot safer. So if you have young children around, there's no fear of them playing around with the knobs and even reaching for the actual cooking surface. There's nothing there that will be super hot. Basically, it is just going to be the transfer of the heat from the pan that will warm the cooking surface, but that's all you really have to worry about. And it does cool off quite quickly as well. So here we have some gorgeous veggies. And just remember, if you are going to be using a grill pan in the house, you still need ventilation. So make sure that you either have your windows open or you have a really good venting system. So it will produce steam and smoke. It's just inevitable. So make sure you have really good ventilation. All right. So the tops of induction cooktops are generally made from shot sarin glass. It is a type of ceramic glass. So that does require a little bit of maintenance and care. What we recommend is a non-ammoniated glass cleaner to clean it, and something to degrease it as well. And then you can actually shine it up with your glass cleaner, and it's just as easy as that. There's no grates to clean around. There's no different surfaces. So it's definitely handy in that respect. And in terms of other pans that you would use on induction, some people do worry about investing in a whole new set of pots and pans. But if you do have all-clad stainless steel, if you have Le Creuset, if you have stoves, any kind of Dutch ovens will actually work in on an induction cooktop. So I'm just turning these hot dogs here, and looks like we actually got some good coloring on those already. So that's fantastic. Let's check our meat, and we have some wonderful grill marks there. So let's just get our crosshatch pattern, and we'll check our temp on that as well. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to send them in. I'm happy to answer them here live and help you along in your appliance decision making. I have to say that cooking with induction is definitely my preferred way. I know a lot of people find that shocking when they hear a chef prefers induction over gas. And it's mainly because the precision and the control that you get from induction is not, it's not even comparable to gas. You will get an immediate reaction in the pan. You will get an immediate reaction in the food. And that even goes for, your grilled items as well. So I can't speak well enough about induction. It's definitely my preferred way to cook. I mentioned the safety aspect, extremely safe. I also mentioned the cleanability. I have all of the parchment paper down, so it's definitely going to make up my cleaning a lot easier. See, all of that splatter goes right on the parchment, so all I have to do is lift that. The one thing you can't do is cover up the control panel, so you do have to keep that open, otherwise it won't function, it won't operate. So just a couple, those are minor things. You figure those out as you use it, as you work with it. But yeah, we're getting some great color here on the griddle pan. You could do eggs, pancakes, all sorts of different vegetables and breakfast items. So there's really no limitations here. I will. This one's sticking a bit, so transfer these veggies out. We'll throw some fresh veggies in there as well. So, yep, just keep those questions coming in. If you have any questions about induction cooktops or ranges, we have lots of variety, lots of styles. In terms of the power, they're all very powerful. I think it really comes down to the interface of induction cooktops. What sort of interface are you looking for, and how does that work into your lifestyle? It looks like we do have a question coming in.
What features do you look for when buying an induction cooktop?
What features would I look for? So for me, it would be definitely the interface. I'd want it to be easy to use, quick to program, quick to respond. I also appreciate the layout. I think the layout for me is really important. So, for example, the layout on this one, I have certain designated areas that I can cook in. Other brands such as like Thermador and Gaggenau have a seamless cooking surface. So that means you can actually place your pan anywhere on that cooking surface, and it will detect it. It'll detect the shape. It'll detect where it is. So to me, that's actually pretty cool that you can use the entire cooking surface to make your food. And to me, that's one of the biggest selling points for sure. All right, so let's get the rest of my veggies here, and check on the steak as well. We've rendered all the fat. We're getting some good color, and I just want to get the sides done, and we'll pull that off the grill. And our burgers should be about done here as well. We're getting some really good color on those. And then our hot dogs should be just about done as well. So yeah, definitely. I mean, we have a lot going on here, but this is a great way to, especially if you don't have access to an outdoor grill, or potentially, during the winter when you wouldn't be necessarily going outside, but you still want to enjoy the taste of delicious grilled food. This is a great alternative. So I definitely like the fact that you have those options. It's definitely not for everybody. A lot of people don't feel comfortable with that kind of technology, but it is a slight learning curve. It's going to take a little bit of adapting, a little bit of changing your cooking style. Obviously, with induction, you can't really shake your pans around too much like you would on a gas cooktop. You can't really flip or turn your pans too much. So you do have to adjust your cooking style slightly. But to me, that's a really small adjustment that someone would have to make. And it's something that you can adapt to quite quickly as well. So slight learning curve, but definitely worth it to get the results that you would get on an outdoor grill, or just in cooking in general. I mean, you get fantastic food, easy cleanup, precision cooking. It's kind of a no-brainer, to be honest. You do need to obviously factor in the ampage. You need a certain minimum of electrical amps in your kitchen or in your house to be able to support it. So that's something that you would have to factor in. Now, another thing is if you have a high volume kitchen, so you do a lot of cooking where you require high temperatures on all the burners, that may factor into your decision making, because it is electrical. It is an electrical appliance at the end of the day. So things that have a lot of different electronics feeding into them do have the tendency to overload. Sometimes this is worst case scenario. This does not happen every time, but it could potentially then shut down if for safety reasons. So I would just say, if you do a lot of high volume cooking and cook a lot of things at high temperatures at the same time, then perhaps this isn't the ideal appliance for you, but it's definitely something that you can still consider. You just have to figure out what your cooking style is. So the burgers are done. I'm going to just throw a little bit of cheese on here, the griddle burgers anyways, and then I had just thrown those burgers on our grill. So I will let those cook to temp, and we'll pull those off in just a couple minutes, and I'll help answer any other questions anyone else might have regarding induction. Any other questions? We're good for now. So we're getting really nice color on our veggies here as well. Looking good, really nice crisp and char, and we're getting some good grill marks on this side. So really there's no limitations. I know these are decision-making factors for a lot of people. Also, a lot of people ask about wok cooking on induction. So that is possible. We've done wok cooking demonstrations here and can also help answer questions about using a wok on induction. You just have to make sure that your wok has a flat bottom. So you want to make sure that it sits comfortably on the flat surface. There are a couple of brands that come to mind. You can actually just look and online on Amazon, and there are some pretty inexpensive cast aluminum, or, oh my God, I'm blanking on the word, but there are a lot of carbon steel pans online that you can get that are quite inexpensive with with flat bottoms for induction. Carbon steel is induction compatible. However, those pans would have to be treated and seasoned. There is a brand called Scan Pan, which is actually already, it comes fully treated. It's a ceramic titanium nonstick cooking surface, and that works beautifully. It conducts heat incredibly, and it's made for induction cooktop. So I would definitely recommend that for your induction cooking needs if you are interested in wok cooking on induction. Now, we oftentimes get the question, is it going to be as powerful as high-powered BTU burner? It's not going to give you exactly the same results or exactly the same speed of cooking, but it is going to give you something very close, and it'll definitely do it neater. So there are benefits definitely to it. You just have to factor in what it is that you're looking for when it comes to cooking style, cooking interface, cleanability, and aesthetic as well. I mean, at the end of the day, induction is a very sleek and modern looking appliance. So you have to, be okay with that, because sometimes people are expecting a more traditional kitchen with the gas burner, the gas range, and that look is very different from an induction cooktop. So you have to really factor in all of that as well. So if you want something that's more modern and minimalistic, then induction is definitely the way to go. If you're looking for a more classic kitchen with the burners and the knobs, then the gas range is the way to go. So it really, aesthetic has a lot to do with it. So again, just one of those things to factor in as well. Also, in terms of ventilation, you actually don't need as much ventilation for induction as you would with a gas cooktop. So that's another thing you can factor in. Now, if you're going to do some grilling on induction, I still recommend having good ventilation in your home for something like that. But otherwise, you don't need as powerful of a hood. And then what else? Downdrafting is also an option with induction. So just another piece of the pie there. What else? So we talked about the cleanability. We talked about the hoods, different types of pans that you can use. Safety, child safety. For me, that's like number one. My daughter is getting at the age where she can now, reach up, and she does reach, and having knobs right in the front is definitely not ideal. So in my new kitchen, I will definitely go for induction, because it just makes life so much easier. You don't have anything for children to reach for or play with. And again, that surface is not going to be super hot. It is just the transfer of heat that's making it hot. It's not actually hot. It won't retain that heat as long as like an electric coil cooktop would, or the cast iron grates on a gas cooktop would as well. So yeah, please let me know if you have any other questions. We covered a lot of topics here. And then I would say lastly, we do want to make sure that you realize, it is definitely more efficient to use induction. It's a consistent flow of heat, which means your food is going to cook generally faster. And you definitely, have to monitor your food a little bit more. A couple of other things is when you are cooking with induction, I mentioned you have to adjust your cooking style slightly. And that means like you won't necessarily need to preheat your pans because your pan will heat up rather quickly. So that's why I always say make sure there is some kind of fat, oil, water in the pan when you turn it on, because you don't want to potentially scorch or burn your pan. So just all things in terms of safety that you want to factor in. All right, so definitely let me know, guys, if you have any questions. We're just about to wrap up here. There should be, if you'd like to make an appointment with one of our salespeople, feel free to go to our website and make an appointment in one of our 3 showrooms. We have Hanover, Framingham, and Dorchester. I am also doing one-on-one appointments with people looking to get more in depth with some of the appliances they may be considering or purchasing. So those are also available on our website. And just happy to answer any cooking questions that you may have. So feel free to book the appointments through our website. You can follow us on all our social media outlets. We have all the hashtags and all the handles there for you to follow. And please feel free to send any questions through our Facebook page. And it looks like we do have one more question.
Regarding your statement about the problem, if you need more than one high heat burner at a time, could that become an issue?
No, I mean, as you can see here, I was using high heat here and high heat here. So I would say it's definitely not an issue, but I'm giving you the worst case scenario because that would not be something that would ever come up with a gas range or a gas burner. But in the worst case scenario, if you had high powered burners on for extended periods of time, there is the potential for the device to shut down for safety reasons. It might have overheat. Is it something that happens frequently? No, but is there potential for it to happen? Yes. So as I was using 4 burners here, all at high to medium high heats, and I did not occur, that incident did not occur. So it just is, depends on the length of use and obviously the high temperatures, but definitely worst case scenario. But very good question. All right. So I think that wraps it up for our induction grilling and griddling demonstration today. If you have any more questions, please send them through our Facebook page and we'll be happy to answer them for you. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me, Chef Saba at Yale Appliance, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you.